she did announce she
Correct.
is not running in 2026 for governor of California.
Correct.
All right. And she said she will announce shortly about her future plans. So she's kind of left it very vague. So what do you think her next political post will be? Because she's still a fairly young lady.
Correct. Correct.
You know,
she says she wants to work on getting more Democrats placed in the federal government, the governor of New Jersey, I guess state government, governor of New Jersey, governor of Virginia, flipping the House of the Congress.
Okay.
So that's where she wants to work. Whether she's going to be successful as somebody who's able to, I don't know how much money she has left in a war chest anywhere that she can be a big donor to people. I don't know if she's got her own PAC kicking around. I'm sure she does to some degree, but I don't know how well funded it is.
I'm sure she has some PAC there.
And, sadly, I don't know what she actually brings to the table.
Yeah. And that's where I'm like, if this is my thoughts, because I think Gavin is kind of the next guy in line for the Democrats.
And we've talked about this, and I think the concept of California is the albatross around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that look at California, and at some point in time, California is going to say, you know what, screw you. We're the world's fourth largest economy. We'll go out on our own. You could have Canada, make them the 51st state, or keep them the 50th state, and Canada and California will be their own country.
Mm. Yeah, no, that won't work.
Probably not.
That's our land. It's not California's land.
Well,
it's all U.S. land.
Well, it's not like people haven't seceded previously.
Yeah, and they weren't successful.
Where's my Conk Republic flag?
They weren't successful then either.
No, but they tried.
Yeah. I can tell you, Florida can kick California's ass. So I know they got a lot. I know they got a lot more money.
Yeah.
But guess what? They also have a lot more of guns.
Florida has a lot more guns. Yeah, exactly. Well, we can buy them. California's got money; they can buy them.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know how to use them. The average person in California doesn't know how to use a gun.
I don't know if that's true. That's where John Birch died. And you go up to Northern California.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, northeastern California.
I'll just send my redneck buddies from the Panhandle, and if they get past them, then we'll go to our South Florida guys. Us East Coast Florida guys won't have to join the fight at all. They'll finish it off.
Right. I got news for you though. Northeast California is, you got your rednecks up there because they're talking about seceding. They want to merge with
they want to leave California
and they want half of Western Idaho. Mm-hmm. That's your skinheads, your people that fight the federal government. God forbid they shouldn't do anything in concert with the government.
There's some cowboys. I know two guys from Idaho.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mess with those two guys. Yeah. So those are the only two guys I know.
Well, they keep getting.
You don't meet a whole lot of people from Idaho.
No,
and these guys. One of them had to be my bodyguard for an event that I did, and do we ask
why you needed a bodyguard at this event?
I was carrying a lot of cash.
Okay,
so I was carrying a lot of cash, and he was. When I say he was my bodyguard, he was always about 15 or 20 feet away from me as I was walking through with like a Winn-Dixie bag.
Okay,
with tens of thousands of dollars.
Right. Uh-huh.
So,
but it looked so innocent.
Oh, it did.
Right.
No one knew I was carrying that money. But no, he hung out and was my bodyguard, and he was a big tough dude from Idaho. So I don't want to fight Idaho.
Did he have hair, or was he a skinhead?
No. Just, you know what? What's the number of see? That's another thing. There's not that many skinheads in the entire
most
United
of them are in Illinois anyway.
Yeah, there's not that many skinheads in the entire United States.
Well, because they grew up and they grew their hair back in.
Yeah. So. It's just not really a big group.
They had to grow their hair back to cover their scalp tattoos.
Yeah.
Last official number was around 99.
99. So
90. Wait. Just 99 people, or 9,900.
99 skinhead groups.
Oh, skinhead groups. Okay.
Skinhead groups.
Right.
Okay. But I was looking for a raw number. I mean, that's. Yeah. If you can find that.
Who knows?
If there's 99, there'd be slightly more skinheads than transgender athletes.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to research that too much, because otherwise I'm pretty sure the FBI is going to add something to my to this laptop here, and I use it for traffic reports. Mr. Patel.
You'll get some interesting pop-ups. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, Blake, here to join us on our next march?
I'm pretty sure Cash is not worried about your traffic report, Blake. So
he's got bigger fish to fry.
He's got his hands full right now. He's got his hands full.
I will say one thing about that. Like him or not, McCabe, Comey, these were, law enforcement professionals, and there was never any doubt that they were running the FBI as a law enforcement organization. Bongino and Patel are running the FBI as a political organization. I know you think that they've arrested more criminals than anybody in the history of the world, but they haven't arrested each other yet, so we'll give that a little bit of time.
And Comey's still walking the street, so.
Yeah, his daughter got fired, and she was the one who prosecuted Epstein. So, try to figure that one out, too.
So.
It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I can tell you, I've been keeping a distance eye on the whole Epstein thing.
Yeah, it gets weirder by the minute.
It gets weirder by the minute. The report of how Trump and him separated, he was poaching employees from Mar-a-Lago, and that's how their falling out took place. Did you hear that video at all?
No, but I mean, he poached one of a young woman to work for Trump. Right. Trump did, yeah.
Trump, no, he Epstein poached from Trump.
Oh, really?
From Mar-a-Lago.
Okay.
Yeah, from the spa. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay.
And that's when Trump said, "Hey, don't do that," and then he did it again, and that's when all ties were cut.
Well, that's a valid reason.
Yeah, but the thing though was like the reason why people are like looking into that is because at the time, like when Epstein took her, Epstein took the former employee in, that she was underage at the time. So,
right.
So that might be a concern for like, okay, did Trump knew that she was underage at his Mar-a-Lago
spa?
Well,
I can tell you this: if he knew what was going on with that younger employee and didn't say something, then I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And then I got a big problem with it. You all bets are off at that point because you got to protect our kids. So no matter what, if you're in a position of power, which he's always been in a position of power his entire adulthood, you got to protect the kids.
And one of those women wasn't the young woman who committed suicide after the fact.
I think that was one of them.
Virginia Gruffet or whatever. I can't pronounce that name.
So Trump did say that Virginia worked at the Mar-a-Lago spa and that she was taken by Jeffrey Epstein, according to Trump, and that was one of the people that caused the breakup between those two.
That was the argument of where he poached her from Mar-a-Lago. So that kind of ended. Their
bromance.
I'm pretty sure Trump was like, this guy, no. And I'm sure he had no value to Trump either. So,
right.
He just didn't have that. All right, but come back to Kamala. All right.
Okay.
Kamala, and she says she's trying to get more
Democratic
representation in the midterm to
election,
try and flip the House.
Yeah.
All right. Do you think that's effective with her, or do you think there's other Democrats? See, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not so sure how much weight she has.
I see the Republicans going, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. I don't think she brings much to the table.
You saw what happened.
Yeah, I don't think she brings that much to the table. And there's going to be, the only question people are going to ask her is, so when did you know Joe was going nuts? Yeah.
Well, and that's there's so much other stuff like the people that are purple, the purple people.
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself a somewhat purple person.
Mm-hmm.
My shades go from red to blue, but
mm-hmm.
I'm a purple person.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't help a purple.
I don't think she helps many people.
Drawing a person over.
Yeah.
So, I think the Democrats, if they truly want to get to the economy, get to, how to help the business in your region
mm-hmm.
the best way you possibly can and help your region. I feel like
the kitchen table issues.
Yeah, the kitchen table issues, and every region's different. Mm-hmm. What happens in St. Johns County is completely different than what happens in Putnam County, and what's happening in Putnam County is completely different what's happening in Escambia County.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has their own breakdown, and finding out what works best for the people, because that's what their job really is.
Well, it's supposed to be, yes.
Instead of what works best for the party,
Well,
we'll be a better place.
wouldn't that be lovely? If
It would be great. And both sides,
country before party,
yeah,
or people before party,
party.
Right, would be lovely, but it's not the case on either side. You know, I mean,
no, I agree with you.
I mean, the Republicans are now. I think they went through with redrawing the Texas congressional districts today.
Okay,
you know, I mean, they put what's his face is now going to be an appellate judge, and that is just disgusting. Beauvais, because you know what, the first person that gets a decision by him should turn around and say, fine, I'm not going to do anything, I'm going to ignore it, because you told people should ignore the courts, so you know what, thank you for your decision, we're just going to ignore you and go and walk away and see what does he say about that.
Yeah,
throw his quotes back up into his face.
Yeah,
the man should, I mean, the fact there was, and once again, you got to like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, because those are the only two Republicans who have any spine or backbone in this current Senate. Because where the hell is Tom Tillis? You got nothing to worry about. You're not running again. You don't like to.
But Lenny, though, you can only trust Susan Collins until the Republicans need a majority. Then she'll vote with the Republicans. When they have a majority or have a majority of votes, then
we'll
Susan
see.
Collins.
When she knows her vote is not a factor.
Yes.
It makes you be a lot braver.
Well, yes. I understand
and she's in one of those purple areas, so
she's in Maine. She needs to do that. Exactly, no doubt about it. And I don't know that she's up this term. Is she up? Because if she is, there's going to be there's challengers coming to her from the left and the right. So,
yeah, and because of the climate of Maine, I think she's safe.
No, possibly.
I think she's safe. I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see a lot more purple in the midterms more than you are blue and red.
All right. Yeah.
I think the frustration level,
Susan Collins,
for people like myself, I'm not represented.
Right.
In
and neither am I in Florida.
In DC.
So. I can scream till I'm blue in the face, and they're going to do what the hell they want anyway.
Well, I mean, in the state level, it's not as much, and I know you don't feel this way, but it's not as much left and right. It's more local issues, and it's who can bring the most back for us. And right now, you got to have a Democrat over there for us to get what we need, or I mean a Republican over there to get what we need to get.
Well, that's always the case, that your local level needs to work with whoever is controlling the purse strings, which right now is DeSantis, literally controlling the purse strings. And the same thing in Congress. Rutherford has to go up there, and if Rutherford was in a minority, he would have to go hat in hand to get money out of the majority if he was in the minority. So I understand the machinations of how you bring money home, but it doesn't need to be that one-sided. There should be a little bit more bipartisanship, a little more collegiality. I mean, there is a problem solvers caucus in Congress made up of Democrats and Republicans that are doing just that. I know Tom Suozzi well. He is doing great stuff since he got back to Congress. He's back in Congress, and George Santos is in jail. What a waste of a year and a half.
Yeah.
But there's just not enough of that going on, unfortunately. And these people quake in their boots. If they get a call from Donald Trump, they have to say, how high am I jumping?
No. They get in the air first.
Yeah.
And then they ask how high. Yeah. And that's the way it should not be that way.
Correct.
And that's what I'm saying on the state level. And I know some of these, the national guys stick their toes in and stuff like that. But on the state level, it feels to me, with my personal experience, a lot cleaner.
Okay.
It just, and it might be because I have a personal relationship with them.
Right. You can make these phone calls.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a personal relationship with the guys that are in Tallahassee.
Right.
I know John Rutherford. He probably would take my call, but he's the only one up there I really think would take my call.
Right.
And that's kind of a painful thing.
Right. And as a former sheriff, I have some questions about some of the things that he's, supported, because I think it goes contrary to, the position of law enforcement at times. But, he started out much more moderate, and he has moved further toward mainstream Trump Republican MAGA than when he started and was first elected. From what I've been able to follow. I follow him pretty well. I get his newsletter.
Yeah, well,
I've communicated with him.
And I think he's done a good job of getting the money back.
Right.
He's done a good job of positioning himself, because when you're in the House, it's all about the committee you're on that creates the power that you have. And he's done a good job of positioning himself on positions of power within committees. Right. Which means it's better for us, better for Jacksonville, and for the region. Yeah. And I'm okay with that, no matter what your letter is beside you.
No, bring it home.
Bring it back to us. Home. Fight. I want you to put in that fight. Yeah. I want you to, but the problem is like I said, it's not so much about that coming back. It's more about, am I in line with the party? And they forget that first part. Right. If the party is convenient with you, okay, I'm okay with you being it, but it's more about, I want to be the focus and not the aftermath. Yeah. So,
and most Congress people, their job is to their constituents. Obviously they do federal legislation and they do national issues, but at the end of the day, senators have a different agenda and mandate than your Congress people. And, they represent an entire state, where Congress people represent a locality. And they should be more beholden to those people.